All right. Of course, as we continue then to monitor developments there at Luthuli House, tonight the President of the ANC will be sharing his reflections on the government of national unity. These are some of the live visuals there that are currently taking place. And of course, we will then keep tracking this story for you and bring it to you as soon as, of course, he starts speaking. That is Reverend Vukile Mehana there, who is the chaplain of the ANC. You can see the Secretary General of the party as well as the ANC President there as well, with a number of supporters that have gathered outside Luthuli House. And of course, we stay with this particular story and speak to political analyst Sysman Motloung, who is joining us. Sysman, good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. Certainly quite an interesting time if some of the views of our viewers are anything to go by tonight. The Government of National Unity having just marked 100 days in office as well. A number of varying views. Some are saying that they've done well so far to tackle some of the issues. Others are saying they're doing just fine. It's still early days. But others are saying there's nothing to write home about because you still see mass murders. You still see the issues of crime, electricity, unemployment is still some of the problems. For you, how has this Government of National Unity fared so far?
Yeah, Bunga, I think it is a matter of really looking into these subjectivities because there is people who would want to see drastic changes immediately after this. But my view is that it is not tenable. It is really unrealistic for one to expect a significant shift in the political system within the 100 days. But this GNU has been good because we start to hear narratives, especially from the DA, more of a realist understanding of what government is going through or what government performance is all about. You hear how the Democratic Alliance is talking about having to cut budgets to certain departments, generally across government. But DA is raising that tone of crisis to say government just does not have enough money. If you have listened to Mr. Steenhuisen recently, he was also saying government cannot bail out state-owned entities anymore because that is money that should go to servicing people elsewhere. You bail out these institutions, SOEs, but they don't perform as you want them to. So we get to understand that had DA or a different political party had significant power, maybe we could see a different shift in policies. But currently, it's a counterbalancing mechanism. I think we are very good, in a good place currently.
And you talk about a good place, but how secure is that good place? Particularly when you listen to yesterday morning, for example, I was in conversation with the DA's Helen Ziller, who still is adamant that this is not a government of national unity, according to her. She's still calling it a coalition, but she says you can call it by any other name.
Yeah, what she is saying, I don't think it is anything that would destabilize the Government of National Unity. This is mainly about framing. And she stands together with the MK party, who have said, you cannot call this a Government of National Unity. I think Ms. Ziller is also talking around that if you are to coin it and frame it in a purist manner, the Government of National Unity incorporates most dominant stakeholders in society. And the MK is one of the dominant parties. It is not part of this arrangement. Therefore, if you have excluded such powerful actors, you cannot claim to be to have formulated a Government of National Unity. So call it a grand coalition, whatever you call it. But I think what Ms. Zille is saying is the fact is that ANC is not in government alone. ANC is not making absolute decisions. It has somebody else to hold it in check. And this is what a Democratic Alliance is enjoying. I think that they have come to weaken this arrogance of the ANC in power. And this is something the DA has to write home about. So we could disagree on those. Is it a Government of National Unity purist or grand coalition, as others are saying? But DA is saying, I think the message is that ANC is not governing on its own. And this is a sign maybe that that dominance of the ANC is waning away. Possibly in the next election, that could be worse and another party would be stronger. Whether it will be MK or DA, we are yet to see.
How much of a test is it going to be for this government of national unity, the local government elections? Because we've seen what took place in Tshwane. The DA certainly not happy about the removal of Celia Brink there, and saying that for them, this is a thorn and it's a serious issue because remember, it comes against the backdrop of a democratic alliance that is also not in government, part of government in the province of Gauteng. One wonders then how much of a big test are these local government elections going to be for this government of national unity?
Yeah, they definitely are going to be difficult. You see these local government elections coming in an era of coalition government. So what we see in Tshwane could be a prelude between Action SA, ANC, EFF, that they could work together somewhere, and the exclusion of the DA by Action SA is also kind of a revenge because Action SA complained that DA committed that they will not work with the NC under any circumstances. But at the national level, the DA is working with the NC, and this was a betrayal of that agreement between these parties. And I think this is what Action SA is now saying, that the DA cannot claim to be pure and holy and use other parties as a step ladder to power. And this is what Action SA is trying to do. So DA will have more than partners to rely on. It has to provide a policy direction that is more compelling for the electorate to trust it. On the other side, EFF could be losing ground. EFF has a lot to do, and this is an opportunity maybe in Tshwane for Action SA to make itself known. So this will be a very competitive local government elections. Also not forgetting that there is also that voter apathy, the fatigue of a voter having to go to elections again. There has to be some compelling reason for the voter to go to participate in the elections. So that messaging from IEC and other political parties has to be strengthened. Otherwise, we may see a low voter turnout, also considering national elections, we had a low voter turnout. So that is a likelihood again. So we see that we have a lot of work to do before local government elections to pump up that excitement for people to go participate and to build that trust in political parties again.
But do you think that the Action SA will be able to make inroads through its governance in Tshwane, given the fact that this is a party through its leader, Herman Mashaba, said they'll never work with the ANC, even going as far as forming a moonshot pact with the other political parties. And here they are now.
Hey, Bungi, you saw politics are about eventualities. So it's like something could happen, anything can happen. And we see drawing headlines drawing headlines in politics is defeatist, because sometimes the landscape changes so much that you have to compromise, which is a true nature of politics. Politics are about compromise, give and take. So we could hope that with Action SA in Tshwane, they can try build a name for themselves, some reputation for themselves. But this is just one municipality. You cannot rely on you being in power in Gqeberha or anywhere and think the whole of South Africa will trust you. All these political parties should be present on the ground, be with the people. When they struggle with water, be there to intervene. When they struggle with sewage, with electricity, with potholes and anything, as we see children are dying because of some food issues, where are political parties in this space? What are they saying? How are they intervening to bring solutions? These are big questions where people expect these political parties to be suffering with them. I think Action SA somehow, it has tried to make itself visible, but they have a lot of work to do, as other political parties do.
As you can see there at the bottom of your screen, those are live visuals from Luthuli House, just outside there, as the ANC is marking what was 100 days of the Government of National Unity. We do know, of course, that has come and gone, but we're still in conversation with Sysman Motloung. Sysman, we're seeing a Fikile Mbalula there, the party's Secretary General, and he is a man who in recent days was seen to be at loggerheads with the chair of the ANC in the province of Gauteng. What did you read into those apparent tensions?
Yeah, this is something maybe confusing it on one side, but it is also expected of Mr. Mbalula. You don't know. You could call him excitable or somebody who really is impulsive and later on has to rethink his actions. Or is it because somebody spoke to him, called him to order? But we see somebody in Mr. Mbalula who still tries to assert a particular discipline, but it is not also nice in a sense that you want to silence certain narratives from different camps in the ANC. Also, remember, they're coming to an elective conference of the party. So you want to see these potential people emerging. It is a question in public. After Mr. Ramaphosa, who will be the successor? Is it the current deputy president or somebody else? And I think what Mr. Lesotho is doing could be also another tonality that shows that there's an alternative voice in the ANC instead of this silence and hegemonic support of what Mr. Ramaphosa stands for. And could it be also personality clashes between Balula and Lesotho? So this is what I'm reading here. We could see maybe Mbalula and Lesotho logging heads, maybe in different slates or so. But this is a build-up. It's a start now of what we could expect heading up to the elective conference of the ANC.
And of course, we are waiting for ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa to, speak and address that particular crowd, giving his reflections of the government of national unity. He has said in previous days that he is actually quite happy with how things are going and saying that the debate has been quite, serious within the government of national unity.